This episode of Living in Las Vegas is brought to you by Mitch Fulfer of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, selling homes all across the valley.
G'day boys, it's Brian from Perth in Australia here. I'm heading your way next year, but until then I'm going to be watching the Living in Las Vegas podcast on the Vegas Video Network. Over to you guys, Wayno and Scotty.
Living in Las Vegas starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, that groovy little podcast that gives you a true first-person look into what it's like to call Sin City your home. The Living in Las Vegas podcast. And now your host, yes, a man who clearly needs some kind of introduction, otherwise you wouldn't know who he was.
Sing about this guy.
Mr. Scott Whitney. Welcome, everybody, to the Living in Las Vegas podcast here on the Vegas Video Network. Another fantastic crowd. And hey, let me be the first to congratulate you because you're watching or listening to the longest running podcast about Las Vegas that actually originates from Las Vegas, which means that we're not only going to cover what it's like to live here, we're going to be talking about adventures downtown and Fremont Street and the Strip, other cool places here in the Valley. And by the way, if you're a fan or a tourist, wait a minute, you might even be thinking about moving to our fair city. Well, guess what? This show's like your own secret handshake to all things cool and groovy. Our free show is on the first and third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Pacific time at vegasvideonetwork.com/live. Again, vegasvideonetwork.com/live. Like our good friend Christina Aguilera says, come on over, baby. Get yourself in the live chat. Some of the grooviest people you'll ever see there, for example, you'll see Pops and Mike and Gregor, and there's Ted and Bill 98036 and Ozzy Deb all the way from Australia. This is our Australian-themed show, apparently. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's groovy. And here's the other cool thing about this. Look, inside news. Everybody wants the inside scoop. Everyone wants to see behind the curtain. I get it. I'm with you. Here's what happens. We start the show at 7 o'clock. We end the show at 8 o'clock. It's a 1-hour show. Do you give more than that? Of course we do. Pre-show, 15 minutes before, you can just watch us put the whole sausage together. Fantastic. We learned a bunch of things about Wayne today. We learned that he's a girl and doesn't like heat, but he's told us not to fear about the Vegas Golden Knights, that given who they're playing, we still have got a chance, right?
Right.
Fantastic. And then post-show, Vegas Video Network 2.0, Vegas Video Network After Dark. We then do a good half hour, 45 minutes of post-show stuff, and we do that because we don't want the stuff on the record, but we still want to share it with just the people who are in the live chat. So get on over and join us, okay? Fantastic. Hey, I'm your host, Scott Whitney. Hi, konnichiwa, buenas noches, how you doing, hot stuff? I am the founder of the Vegas Video Network, so on behalf of all those shows, thanks for playing along, and on behalf of this groovy little podcast, we want to thank you for joining us as well, and of course, he's back, we missed him, we missed him, but he had to do the right thing. It was a maternal thing. He had to be there. He had to help his mom. First time visiting to Las Vegas. And so, of course, we got to love the world's greatest son. It's Pimpin' Wayne.
Thank
everybody.
You.
There he is.
Bonjour. It's so good to be back. I know Canada missed me. I got all your calls and letters and moose grams.
Moose grams.
Oh, yeah. It's great to be back, Scott.
It's good to have you back, my brother.
I'm like Cher. I'm just on Infinite Farewell Tours.
Fair enough. And she's never going to die. Why? Dracula. She's a vampire. Hey, thanks to Brian from Perth, Australia. We're international. We've actually got somebody in the live chat. Let me see if we can see her. Where do I see her? Deb. There she is. So because Brian sent in that video, I'm going to already put him in the Haddam hat because he's a good guy. All right, so what are we going to do today? We're going to do some magic. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get caught up is what we're going to actually do. You know, we
I didn't bring the rabbit. We're doing magic?
every day between you and me is magic. Wouldn't you argue? I think it is. We're going to do some magic, meaning we get lots and lots of emails, and sometimes we get behind, but this is the beginning of summer. Sometimes. Occasionally.
Sometimes.
Once in a while. We
You're
get
a pathological liar now.
We get behind every once in a while. Come on, easy. And so what we're going to do is fix that by going right into and dedicating this show to listener email. Wayne. You're welcome. Make you a deal. If you can do that scream at the end, I'll put your name in that video.
I'm not holding my breath. The intro video has you running past the Sahara and the Imperial Palace, so.
Well, I'm trying to bring people back to the good old days of Las Vegas, where where men were men and sheep were nervous. Okay, let's do it like we normally do for this. If a man person sends the email, I'll read it. If a female person sends the email, he'll read it. But actually, we're going to kind of mix it up. Basically, we're going to go back and forth. Correct. Why?
Because Canadians love my dulcet tones.
Well, of course they do. Canadians really love your kind of a creepy focus upon you. Okay, our first email comes from Glenn, and what you're going to find is a lot of these emails are throwbacks to the show we did about what do tourists want and how do they feel about things like fees and whatnot. And Glenn Santa writes, Glenn from New York, Syracuse, if you're wondering. Hi, Scott. Hello, Glenn. I must start by saying I really enjoyed your last show, and it really struck a nerve. As you know, I visit Las Vegas 2 to 3 times a year. I'm very upset with the fact that all these additional fees, like resort and parking, seem to be here to stay. They don't seem to be. They're here to stay. They're not going away. There's nothing that's going to make them go away. Although I will say this. Spago guy, yes, Wolfgang Puck. He has floated the idea of being able to say, if you're going to hang out at Spago's over at the Caesars, we'll validate that parking. By the way,
not all of it though. Like he's just trying to. He said there's no way that MGM will go for all of it, so he'd at least like to take 50% off the parking.
Is that what he said? 50%? Yeah. Oh, well, that's 50. 50. Well, that's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, I guess. But you know, at least he's the first guy. Is he the first guy who said that? I mean, that seems to me to be pretty obvious. So, for example, if you park at downtown Grand, so that property is owned by the same people who own or have some sort of connection with the people who own Triple George, Pizza Rock, and what's the crazy bar? Heifer Bar. What's it called?
Hogs and Heifers.
Yeah, Hogs and Heifer. So those guys have some sort of connection. So if you do valet parking at downtown Grand and get your ticket validated by any of those restaurants I said, parking's free. Of course it is. That's the way it should be.
Main Street Station's validated parking. They've charged for it and validated for years.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Places, but I'm talking for valet.
In the good old days, you could park at Binion's. They just put the validating machine out by the cage.
Oh, is that right?
And you would just stick your ticket in. It was a time clock.
Oh, fantastic.
And it would go zzz, and you would just, that was
that's
how you
great.
Free parking downtown for years.
Okay, back to the, that's fantastic. On top of that, they keep going up and up. They do. Most expensive valet or most expensive resort fee? Do you know?
That is going to be
Venetian, $45.
Oh, I was gonna get there. Yeah.
Interesting though.
I would say Bellagio, but yeah, Venetian.
Interesting though. They don't charge for parking, and they don't charge for valet still. What? Pretty cool. It's gotten to the point now where I do take fees into consideration when I go to book a trip. I have been trying that like heck. Not to book through MGM and Caesars and stay off strip properties like Westgate or some downtown properties where fees are lower. Actually, for our next trip, I'm even considering Airbnb. So, to answer your question from the last podcast, it's people like me that care about this, which is what I argued before. And if you're coming one time, what are you going to do? But if you're like these guys, they come all the time. They're probably not super happy about it. Okay. I'm so sick of being nickel and dimed out of my money. This isn't what Vegas used to be, clearly. It used to be about making people feel special. Exactly. It used to be about giving people an atmosphere and environment where they could forget about all that kind of stuff. In Vegas, they used to take care of you, he says in quotes. And even if they didn't, you felt like they did. Well, now it seems that they're all penalizing us for visiting their properties, and it really comes down to pure greed. Now, that's not to say that these fees will make me stop coming to Vegas, which is what they're betting on, clearly. However, what it will do is make me take my business to properties that understand the customer. My hard-earned money will go to properties that make me feel important and valued. Sure, all other popular vacation destinations charge resort fees and parking fees, but those destinations shouldn't be put in the same category as Las Vegas. I think what he means is, Vegas should be unique. Its uniqueness is why I fell in love with the city some 20 years ago. The way things are going, it will become just like every other place to take a vacation. That makes me very sad. Glenn. Agreed.
Nah, don't totally agree.
What don't you agree with that?
I'm like the Supreme Court. I agree in part and dissent in part.
Oh, you're 7-2.
Yeah.
What's the part that you agree with and disagree?
Just because he's right. Glenn is right. Other areas do this. This is not unique to Las Vegas.
Right.
I was looking at hotels in the Niagara Falls region, and they all charge for parking.
Yep.
Orlando, I heard certain areas, will as well.
Yeah.
So, and that, I mean, that's who they say we're competing with these days, is the Orlandos of the world. This is just an evolution of the tourist demographic, the tourist market. This is just a natural progression of how things are going to go. And to say that, Vegas
doesn't make it right, by the way.
It doesn't make it right, but it makes it what it is.
Yep. So the Orlando thing, that comes up a lot. Well, Orlando has Disney World, and it's a pretty cool place and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure. Actually, part of what the grab for Orlando is the convention business. There is a pretty huge convention business there. San Diego actually has a pretty large convention business as well.
Got to pay for parking there as well.
Yep, you do. And the question is about resort fees. And I've talked about this before about like Newport Beach. We've gone down to Newport Beach a couple of times, like to visit my dad or whatever. And they charge a resort fee, and then they charge a Newport Beach fee, and then they charge a parking fee. And so this is not new news, but I think Glenn's point is solid in that part of the magic of Vegas was it was Vegas-y, that you came in and that was a comp. And that's kind of what you're hoping for. Just comp me on something, for the love of God. And it's the same thing with those, we've experienced this. You're at the bar and you're having a drink, and it used to be you put a 20 in, which is you do that every time that we'd go out. You throw a 20 in. You weren't really doing anything but just, blowing 20 minutes while or $20 while we're drinking. But the minute you put that in, bartender Bob was there. Hey, what can I do for you? Bam, and it was great. Now it's red light, green light, click, click, click. We got to do 3 all bets. And we see this, and it's happening, and it's not consistent.
No.
Right? At Bally's, they have one requirement. I've been to Rio. The requirement is completely different. Both of those, by the way, are Caesar properties, but they're not under the same guy. So you don't really know.
Caesars hates the Rio, though.
Yeah. I think that's kind of a stepchildy kind of thing. But nonetheless, you don't really know what the rules of engagement are with these guys. And so you're trying to figure out what it is. And you really can't go to Bob and go, hey, Bob, just tell me.
Right.
What do you want from me? I'll put the money in. Is it full bets? How many? 1, 3, 5? He can't tell you. He's not allowed to tell you. So that actually I consider one of the most egregious things is, look, this seems pretty obvious to me. If I get somebody who sits down at a bar and I give him a drink, he's likely to drink he's likely to play it a little longer. If I'm a casino, I think that's probably good for me, because if I do the math, I almost always win.
Yeah, but you gotta offset that against the amount of moochers out there. I think there are a lot of moochers.
Interesting? That's an interesting thing.
So,
well, and you have more insight of that because you hang out with the casinos.
Well, that's one of the reasons. Remember when the M first opened, they had soda fountains. You didn't have to wait for a server.
I do.
You get your own soda.
That was a big deal too.
It was, because they have that in other, but I mean, that was a first for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But, all I hear were people, the people that I always hear when I reminisce about the M and how it used to be, and people always reminisce about the soda fountains, and then tell me how they used to go in there and like fill up their big gulp and walk out on the way to somewhere else.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Because, it was there. So.
But I would say there's a difference between getting a big gulp at the M and sitting down at a bar and playing. I mean, before, I don't know anybody who didn't expect that you did have to play to get a free drink. And before we moved here, when I lived here, or before we moved here, when I would come here, we would go to the Aladdin, and I would play a quarter at a time. I didn't do max. I didn't know anything about I was just like, all I want to do is hear clinkety, clinkety, clink. I want to see lights blinking. I like the vibe. I'm just hanging out with Melissa. I got my bucket, and life is good. And they were just bringing me drinks. And I was there for hours. And I lost a lot of money and did not give a shit because I was hanging out, having a good time in a very, light, blinky place. And I'm fascinated by all that shit. Sure. So I was all in. And I guarantee you, had they not been, giving me free gin and tonics, I probably wouldn't have been hanging out as long. So, what's a gin and tonic cost them? Well, it's the cost of the property, and it's the cost of the labor, and it's union labor, which is, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But the drink itself costs 25 cents, 45, maybe $1, maybe. Please. So that's a little disappointing. I get it. All right, next up. Stuart, now I'm going to preface this. Stuart didn't actually send this email. He actually sent a review to Ticketmaster about a show that he and I saw, Ricky Martin, and I asked him if we could read it, and he said yes.
All right.
So this is the Ricky Martin review by Stuart Ponier.
Let's get
Ricky.
Let's get Loca.
Let's get Loca. Living la vida.
This is one of those highly choreographed shows that leaves little space for anything spontaneous. I'm going to read this in my reviewer voice.
Do it.
Like, for example, acknowledging there's an audience in the room. The extent of Ricky's interaction was repeated and slightly unnerving. A chant of, quote, I can't hear you, for which now even is haunting me as I go to sleep. Well, the reason you could not hear us is that you failed to work the room. I was a little worried that this would be one of those shows where everyone would be on their feet dancing throughout and I'd be forced to join them. Quite the reverse.
Nope.
Hardly anyone felt moved to get up and show any emotion. Ricky can sing and dance, although neither are special.
Ouch.
But on stage, he lacks any personality or charisma. He has a dual language career and a dual language audience, with his Spanish language career being bigger than his English, at least from the show. You could tell from the reactions to some of his songs that part of the audience were singing along to his Spanish songs, while the rest sat there slightly bemused.
Bemused.
That should not have been an issue if we had been at all won over by him, but he seemed not even interested in trying. A big letdown. All in all.
So I was there. And,
1 star on Yelp.
Yeah, so I was there. And I was really looking forward to this show. I remember seeing him the very first time on the Grammys. He closed the Grammys in 19 whatever the hell it was. And
he was in Menudo first.
Yes, but I didn't know him in Menudo, surprisingly enough. I'm a big fan, but no. No, he closed the Grammys, and I forget what year it was. He came out and he did La Vida Loca, I think it was, and just crushed it. And I thought, holy crap, this guy's the shit, man. He's really, really good. This is going to be an interesting guy to watch. So he came out and did a lot of good stuff. So we start the show, and he's one of these guys. A lot of guys. For instance, Wayne saw Cher, and I believe she closed. We had a bet about this, I think, with If You Believe.
Right.
He opened with Livin' La Vida Loca. So it opens up, and it's, lights and bam, bam, and I'm like, holy, this is going to be fantastic.
We're hitting the ground running.
This is it. Go, 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 go. And he's dancing. I'm like, this is going to be great. Okay, I'm so happy about this. And that was it. He didn't say, Stuart's right. He didn't say boo, except for, I can't hear you. And it did get a little creepy after a while. Literally no crowd work. None. It was the weirdest thing. It reminded me of Devo.
So, okay, you got a Devo story?
So I saw Devo when I was in the Air Force in Fresno, California, and it was the first time I saw a man who didn't talk to the audience one time. And I really dug. That was when they did that album with the upside down flower pout thing, Whip It. It was a great. It was a great album. Great album. Didn't say 2 words to us. Great stage show. And I walked out of there going, what the fuck, man?
Now, the reverse to that.
Talk to me.
Well, let me tell you, though, the reverse to that was Cher. Cher came out. She opened with a song. I don't remember what it was. It was something that, I don't know.
Sold 1 million, but you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have the first clue.
No.
Then after that first song, she gets on the microphone and does a 15-minute diatribe about how her and Sonny came together.
Oh, I like
the
that.
Sonny and Cher show. And then
That's not a diatribe.
And then essentially ends the story with Dave Letterman as an ass.
Well, so
but it
that would
kept
be a
going,
diatribe.
and how she owed a bunch of people money, and like it started over here, went over here. Then she said she forgot what she was going to say, so she went back over
Jesus,
here.
Really?
Then she's here's what I was going to say. Let me pick back up where I was.
All right.
And it was like I mean, maybe diehard Cher fans loved it.
I would love it.
But afterwards, Hannah was like, I wonder if she was ever going to start singing again, or we were just
really,
yeah.
So interesting. Live chat. Let me know. I prefer people to talk. I mean, I know the music.
See if she interlaced it through the songs.
I much prefer
She
that.
spent a whole 15-minute block.
That's so interesting to me.
For starting with how her and Sonny met,
Yeah.
all the way up to
That's really
she never
interesting.
wanted to go on Dave Letterman. She finally went on Dave Letterman. He was an ass.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that. But I really prefer the banter. I really like the back. Like, for instance, one of my favorite bands is Steely Dan. And if you watch them live, what you recognize is those people are musical gods, just gods. But they don't talk much. They don't go back and forth much because neither one of those guys are very verbose. They're very, intelligent, but they don't talk much. And I prefer to know how shit works. One of my favorite videos on YouTube is having them talk about how they made Pretzel Logic as one of their albums. And Asia, that album. It's just fascinating to me. So I'm all about, tell me stuff. But it was weird having him go through. And then he's got two other songs, and I can't remember what they are now that I knew. And I tell you what, he's one of those cats who decides, you know what, I've done this song so many times, I'm going to change it up a little bit. Fuck, dude. That's not what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. You've got to sing the song the way it's on the album because that's the way I know it. So if you want to swing that song, no, I get it. You're in Vegas. Don't swing the song. Play the song the way I know it because that's the way I want to hang out with it. So that was weird. He's right. There was a very international crowd. But I will say this. There were women who were crying during this show. They were... So there were some people who liked it, but I thought, that could have been better. Next up, we've got this from Matthew Bellafiu, who writes, I'm driving through Vegas in July.
Okay. I hope you're air conditioning.
I want to stay on the Strip.
Okay.
The only thing that I find important...
They have a room or two down there.
Pardon me?
I think they have a room or two down there.
They do. The only thing that I find important for my room is that it be clean and a decent bed.
Define decent.
No frills needed. Probably no roaches or anything like that. In your opinion, will Casino Royale fit my needs? Thank you. Wayne?
I need to preface this by saying I've never been in the rooms at Casino Royale.
I don't know anybody who's been in one of those
Now,
rooms.
what's interesting is it's a Best Western.
Oh.
It's the Best Western at Casino Royale.
Oh.
So, I mean, each chain has a certain minimum
standard, yeah,
to continue the branding.
I didn't know that.
So you'll have fun in the casino. They've got a White Castle now. I've heard they got rid of
super inexpensive drinks there too.
They got rid of the $1 Michelobes, I heard, but they still have the margaritas.
Gregor writes, Casino Royale offers hourly rates. I do believe that's not true.
If you're staying there, I do know they have a tiny little swath of parking behind the property. So
look at this. And Ted writes, rooms
$2 mix, yep.
Yeah, rooms were remodeled just a few years ago. Room reviews are decent. $2 mix, Michelob, is that what that means?
Michelobes.
Yeah,
it used to be $1. They're $2 now, inflation.
Free parking, no resort fees. Ted's got me talking about that as well. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and because it's the Best Western. So,
well, that's good. And I didn't know that, and I think that's actually a good point. And listen, I'm not. If the truth of the matter is, a lot of people pay for rooms because they're in Vegas, but they don't stay there. They're not in the rooms half the time. Not even half the time. They're only there to sleep. As a practice. So I completely get the concept that says, look, I just want a place to, pass out over, when I get there at 3 a.m. and get back up at 10 and I'm off again. Yeah, shit, I get that. But I'm the same as Wayne. I've never seen a room in Casino Royale.
I've seen pictures. I mean, it looks like a Best Western.
Yeah, well, Best Westerns are fine. Mm-hmm. Fine. So I'd say
yeah,
go.
they've got an Outback there. I mean, the casino itself.
That's right. And it's actually a great location.
If you're just looking for something, it's certainly not the Bellagio, but that's not why you're there.
No.
So if you want a cheap gamble, you want people watching.
It's a fantastic location. It's right by a Carnival Court, which is a really fun place. Margaritaville is right there, right across the street from Caesars.
Yeah.
It's a good location, man. Yeah. You can't beat it.
By the way, I've heard the Margaritaville's going away. The casino portion of it.
The casino, they had another casino. They had a casino elsewhere in the country that failed.
No. They're gonna pull what I've heard.
One here?
Gonna pull the branding out of the Flamingo.
I thought there was
the
another
Margaritaville
casino.
restaurant will remain, but you know how it's Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville Casino with the 5 o'clock somewhere bar.
Kinda.
That's gonna be dethemed.
Oh, is that right? But no one even knew that was there, anyways.
Well, I did because they serve Land Shark on tap, which is my favorite beer.
Oh, there you go. Okay, let's continue on. But first, let's do a quick break for our good buddy, Boink, Mitch Fulfer. Hey, real fast, Mitch Fulfer, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Let me tell you, this is the guy who helped us sell our home in 2 hours in Aliante. Pretty fantastic. And by the way, just a real quick reminder, 80% of the realtors here in Las Vegas, 80% have never bought or sold a house, which is not a feature. My argument is this. You may find this surprising, but I'm kind of a tough customer.
You?
What? He seems like such an easygoing.
You're such a yes man.
Such
typically.
an easygoing guy. Yeah. And I'm always looking to see, is this guy being a bad guy or is he not doing his work? And guess what? Mitch is doing his work. So go check out his website. It's Mitch Fulfer, FULFER.com. Buying or selling, this guy is the guy you want to work with. All right, let's continue on. Our next up, we have Bill. Did I read that last one? I did, yeah. Did. This is War and Peace. Good luck to you.
All right, here we go. Remember Micro Machines? That Micro Machine guy?
Who?
The Micro Machine guy.
No, what's that?
You don't remember Micro Machines?
I don't feel
from
like I do.
the 80s? Oh, all right, never mind. Scott, I come to Vegas once a year for NAB, which is the National Association of Broadcasters.
Who is this from, by the way?
This is Bill.
Bill, 9836.
I don't know. He has his last name on here, and I don't know if he wants that.
Check it. He's in the live chat.
Okay.
He definitely wants it.
So Bill comes to Las Vegas once a year for NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, and he usually stays at Circus since it's clean and very inexpensive.
Wow.
Again, what's your definition of clean, Bill?
How many people go to Circus? Not that many.
No.
No.
I attended CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, in January for the first time, and Circus rates were way higher than I was willing to pay.
Of course.
So I ended up staying downtown at the Cal.
At the where? California.
Listening to your show, number 324, I thought I could share some ideas about finding hotel accommodations.
Oh, neat.
He typically starts his search at kayak.com to get an idea of the range of rates.
Yep, I like that.
Then he looks at Hotwire and Priceline to see if there are any interesting deals and try to see if he can figure out what hotels the offer is for. He then goes directly to the hotel's website because the prices may occasionally be lower than what Kayak shows.
By the way, most casino websites now guarantee that they'll be the lowest price. Like I just bought some tickets in a casino I can't speak of, and they were very low. Go.
Using the above method, I waited a while after determining I would stay at the California for CES and booked directly with the hotel.
Oh.
By the time I got around to reserving a room at the Cal, that rate had gone up quite a bit.
What?
I found I was able to almost get the same rate a month later by using Priceline and prepaying for the entire stay.
But you don't know what you're getting on Priceline, or did he know? Because it's two-way. Priceline used to be you would say, I want a 4-star, I want it in and you'd be like, please God,
I know.
Please God, please God.
And whatever you got, you were stuck
You're
with.
a guy, yeah, and you're like,
no refunds, no cancellations.
Right, Royal Casino, what the fuck?
If you wanted Bellagio and you're at the Best Western Casino Royale.
And I saw a really cool blog, not a blog post, it was a forum post about how to game Priceline. So okay, if it's 4.5 stars in the south, it has to be Mandalay Bay. But if it's the north, then it has to be Wynn or Encore. Yep. That was so cool. We used it once.
There was a forum. Yeah, the forum for that was called Bidding for Travel.
I think you actually told me about it. Yeah. Fantastic.
What most individual travelers don't know is that groups holding meetings at a hotel negotiate rates that are lower or supposed to be lower than listed on the hotel's website.
That's true.
Many groups don't restrict who can reserve rooms, so you can often take advantage of those lower rates by booking through the links and group codes for the meeting. Here is where many maybe most, of the conventions in Vegas are listed. And then he lists a web address. In regards to resort fees, many groups get resort fees lowered. Last year at Circus Circus, I only paid $8 a day for the resort fee.
What?
And some would argue even that's a little bit too much.
Right.
I'm not sure what the regular rate was, but I currently see it as $32 a day on the Circus Circus website.
There you go.
For 4 nights in April, my total is $260 before tax and resort fees since I booked it in October using the NAB hotel website.
Now, Bill, you're on the live chat with us right now. Did you do anything besides do the convention? Did you hang out in downtown? Did you do anything like that? Continue on, please.
So he paid $260 as opposed to the current rate of $362 for the same nights using the hotel website or the NAB website.
Can you imagine?
It's currently showing $300.
Can you imagine paying $300 a night for Circus Circus? Shit. What's that sound? Exactly.
I decided to use points a couple years ago and stay at the Hyatt Place next to the Hofbrauhaus restaurant.
Sorry, Bill.
I mentioned this because one of your listeners mentioned staying at America's Best Value Inn. Well, it certainly wasn't me. While my
you got a bunch of shit about that, by the way.
While my stay at Hyatt Place was free, what I didn't expect was daily wake-ups between 6 and 6:30, courtesy of the 618 from Tokyo leaving the Kieran Airport.
By the way, I misspoke. This is not. We have an email coming from Bill. Actually, this is a have a drink on me email. So sorry, Bill.
So finally, he would like to shout out some good places that are inexpensive yet offer great food downtown.
Okay.
Here we go. Latai.
So you're going to say the name, then the first thing that comes to our mind, we're going to respond to that. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Latai.
Go.
Not for me.
Pretty good.
La Pho Vietnamese Kitchen. I don't like cat.
I got nothing. That was fantastic. I don't like cat. That's fantastic. Good job.
Public Us. Don't know what that is.
Public what?
Public Us. With the U.S. capitalized. Never heard of it.
Fantastic. I hope go again.
Carson Kitchen. Guy just died recently.
Not recently, about a year ago. Carrie Simon.
It's supposed to be good food, though.
It's supposed to be real good. Haven't been. Did I go to that one? I think I did. Good.
And while not quite downtown, Tacos El Gordo, Roach Coach.
Everybody's been there, and guess what? It is, I would argue, a little overblown. Everybody says it's fantastic. Here's the thing. You go there for lunch, you're going to be waiting in line. And it's soft tacos. I don't really like soft tacos. And it's not that great, to be honest with you. So,
and for great coffee, for those of you who enjoy caffeine out there,
yep.
Vesta Coffee Roasters. Don't drink coffee.
It's really, really, really good. I got nothing. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it? Hey, nice email, man. Thanks for the email. Good job. Yeah, I would not. California. I've never heard of anybody staying in California. Is that a Boyd property?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's they call it the Ninth Island. It's specifically targeted at
That's
Hawaiians.
right. They just did something there. Did they just add resort fees, or didn't Boyd just do something down there?
They just remodeled it recently, about a year ago, less than.
Can't be that. All right, here we go. Next up, this is from Mr. Tony Smith from Brooklyn, New York.
Well, Tony from Brooklyn.
Hey,
yeah.
You know what? I'm doing right now. I've been watching The Sopranos. Have you watched that show? Have you watched?
I've never seen it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No. You're kidding me.
I've never seen it.
It is, without question, the best series ever created on TV.
Disagree.
You can't disagree because you haven't seen it.
Shield?
Yeah, I did.
It's better than The Shield.
It literally says, here's the shield. Here's the shield, and here's the shield's neck. Sopranos. It's so much better. It's crazy. 6 or 7. It's 6.5 seasons, and we started from the beginning, and we're watching them all again. I've seen them all. I've seen every episode, and I think I'm in season 5 now. Jesus Christ, it's so good. Right now, Tony just got shot by Junior.
Oh, okay.
His uncle. Oh. And he's, trying to come out of it.
Dramatic.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's such a great show. Hey, Scott and Wayne. I'll be in Las Vegas in August. So you have plenty of time to answer this question, guys. That seems
squeaked that one in.
That seems hurtful. Since you all usually fall behind. You know what? Fuck this guy.
No.
All right. Okay.
You can't. That's thinking ahead. That's planning.
Kind of mean-spirited. I think he could have been nicer about it. You could have said, hey.
The truth hurts sometimes,
I know
Scott.
you're really busy, and I know that this email is not super important, but it would be, golly gee whiz, Scott, if you could fit me in, that'd be great. That's what I would have done.
Okay.
That's what I would have done. Yeah. Can you recommend some activities or places, attractions to visit outside of the Strip in Fremont? Maybe have a whole episode about that. Smiley face. Something other than Red Rock Canyon, Lake Mead, etc. Thanks way in advance for your knowledge of Vegas, and keep up the great work, fellas. Again, Mr. Tony Smith, Brooklyn. Wayne?
Hoover Dam.
Hoover Dam. Sure, you got to go to Hoover Dam and not just stand on the dam.
Which is quite breathtaking.
Actually, we stand on the dam.
Yeah.
But then go underneath and see how big those generator things are, because they're as big as cars. It's pretty cool. And they actually have a nice, I wouldn't call it a museum, but a theater-y kind of...
The best damn gift shop.
Yeah, very good. So you got to go to that. Not downtown. Wait, not Fremont.
In the burbs.
I would do. The Neon Museum is interesting.
That's downtown.
It is a little. He said Fremont. He said outside of the Strip or Fremont. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's close enough.
I would do. Oh, I would absolutely do. If you're August, are the 51 still playing in August?
They are, but I'll tell you what, the lights are better than the 51s.
Okay, so here's the thing. So one of the great discoveries when I first moved to Las Vegas was the Las Vegas 51s, which is a AAA baseball team. At the time, they were for the Dodgers. Then they were for Montreal. I think they're for the Giants. I don't know.
Toronto.
I don't know who they are. Giants? Mets. That's right. It is fantastic. Just love it. AAA ball is great ball because people are throwing the ball fast, so you get to see 90-mile-an-hour fastballs, but people are hitting the crap out of it. The last game I went to, the score was, I think, something like 15-12. This is a baseball game. Whee! And cheap beer. I think the most expensive seat in the house was, I don't know, $14, $15, whatever it was. I love it. Now, those guys are moving to Summerlin. So if you want to go now. We haven't actually gone this year where you have to go. But there's other games being played on that property.
Scott, if you think AAA baseball is exciting, where...
By the way, I think that, but Melissa hates it.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and he's caught looking. That's strike 3. That'll end your inning. The 51s will be batting next.
You
and then you get
used
the
to go there all the time. Thursday night, $1 beer night. You used to be a fan.
I was.
God, you are a fair weather son of a berry picker.
You know what happened?
Yeah, I think I do know. The Lights.
Las Vegas Lights FC.
Go, baby, go.
So, much like minor league baseball, minor league soccer has come to town. And you might say...
So this is minor league soccer?
It's minor league soccer.
So they are trying to get to Major League Soccer
correct.
here. Oh, I didn't know that.
Appropriately called Major League Soccer, MLS.
Easy, big boy.
So, you might say,
Christ.
"Oh, Wayne, that sounds entertaining. Is there maybe a rec league closer that I can go to and save myself the parking fee?"
There's a really big soccer theater thing over at Summerlin.
Let me tell you something. You
Like
are going to have so much fun, soccer fan or not. I don't care if you can tell the difference between Messi and Ronaldo and David Beckham. You don't need to. Because here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to show up. There's going to be a tailgate area set up in front of the stadium. A tailgate area.
Official?
What's out there? Official.
Nice.
By Zappos. Sponsored by Zappos. What's out there? Activities. Inflatables for the kids. Activities and autograph sessions for the kids. Bars for the adults.
Yay.
Llamas. You can feed yourself a llama, get some pictures taken.
I like llamas.
Food trucks. All the different kind of food trucks in town that you've heard of, the big names, Fuku Burger, the
Fuku
Mexican. There's like 6 different food trucks to choose from.
Nice.
At the start of the game, a supporter section with drums, trumpets, horns, noisemakers, flags, and smoke lead a parade into the stadium. You get into the stadium, And unlike baseball, where, here comes the manager, and looks like he's going to talk to the pitcher, and I got 5 minutes because then he's going to saunter back to the dugout, and then a new pitcher is going to come in, and then he needs to warm up because what's he been doing for the previous 45 minutes sitting there? No. Unlike that, you have 45 minutes and 2 halves of back and forth, nonstop action.
Bam, bam, bam.
There is not only the athleticism of them going back and forth, but this is minor league soccer. So they're going to argue with the refs. They're going to fight with each other.
They're going to score more.
The last game I watched,
the problem with soccer
there
is
were
that
punches and elbows thrown. What? It is fantastic entertainment. The crowd.
How many games have you been to?
1. The crowd.
I can see you're really into it. What was the score of that game?
I think 1-0.
That's the problem with soccer.
But it's not, because it is. If it was a baseball game 1-0, it'd be boring. This, you still have the constant action back and forth.
Yeah.
So what happened in the game we were at, the referees made some calls the crowd wasn't that fond of. So as Hannah described it, a mob mentality formed amongst the crowd, not within each other, but towards with that energy directed towards the field.
I understand why you like it. Oakland Raiders. Mob mentality.
Maybe
you have a affinity for that kind of game.
But it was so much more engaging.
I'm an adult,
because when everybody kind of bands together and is like passionate about the cause, it heightens the experience.
Yeah, or it increases the probability of a bottle being flung, and instead of hitting the goalie, hits me in the head.
No,
I'm a little
close
concerned.
enough to the field where they can reach the field,
Fair
even
enough.
if you got pouring.
All right, but you liked it. I've actually heard good things about it. And you also went to. Did you go to the NBA, the WNBA game?
Not yet.
Okay,
I'll get to one.
but that's also there. That's also there as well. That's over at Mandalay Bay. Anything else besides sports stuff that we like?
For outside. I said Hoover Dam.
You know, it depends on how long you're here. You know, Southern California is a 4-hour drive. So if you want to see the beaches of Southern California, you're 4.5 hours there. You're there. So I like that. What else? Anybody in the live chat have some ideas that they like for things that are not gaming, gambling-y kind of stuff? So I would say there's some, like, for instance, Red Rock's a beautiful casino, but he seems like he doesn't want to do the casino anything.
I gotta take you to a lights game.
I want to go. We were talking about that. I want to go. I think that they're on house. Are they on house?
No.
No?
No.
Really?
No.
I think I saw something.
I've never. If you have, let me know. I've never seen it.
All right.
They're getting 5,000. The other day was Friday. 5,000 people.
Oh, it was the WNBA thing. It was the Aces.
Oh, you saw them on house seats?
I did.
Oh, well, they're not on there enough then, because the crowd was still sparse.
Laughlin, Boulder City, Pop says, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So
Boulder City, you're at Hoover Dam, basically.
Well, that's right. And actually, so Boulder City, so quaint little burb, you know, about 14
Antique-y type
people.
stuff.
Yeah, 14 people live there, and it's cute. And there's a couple restaurants and
There's
some
an
tourists.
A&W root beer
Actually,
stand.
there's a really good art and wine festival there. You know, it might be in August. It's probably one of the best I've ever been to. It is huge, multiple day there. It's really good. If you come there at that time, go.
No gambling. I don't know. By the way, no gambling at all in Boulder
and by the
City.
way, the Lake Mead thing. One of my favorite things to do here when we first moved here is to rent a boat at Calville. What's it called? Calville. Fuck, I forget what it's called.
I don't know.
We'd rent a boat. Go putting around in Lake Mead. God, it was fantastic. I love doing that. And it didn't cost a lot of money. It's fun. Yeah, a couple beers, bring some sandwiches. You're swimming in front of Boulder Dam or Hoover Dam. It's pretty cool, man. So I wouldn't.
These days, even if you can't swim, your feet can probably touch the bottom.
So the water's a little low. It's not quite that low. The third straw hasn't been exposed yet, but it's good. Yeah, it's getting there. What are you going to do? Yeah, that's a Calville Bay Resort. That's exactly what it is, the marina. Go there, rent a boat, have the best time of your life. Okay, next up. Let's have a drink. Back over there. Nice try. Chris Bailey, how are we doing on time? Ooh.
Getting close.
45 minutes. Yep. Well, this will be our last one. Means we've got a couple more that we'll do next time. How does that make me feel? Well, that's.
How does that make you feel?
Peace. How does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel?
It feels good.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel? Okay, here we go.
How?
Chris Bailey writes, I just watched your podcast regarding resort parking fees. I used to make at least 2 visits to Vegas each year, renting a vehicle each time. Hold on, where's my skitty sound? There it is. With escalating resort fees and now parking fees, I'm done.
Tomahawk say no.
I've had enough of nickel and diming me to death. I'll find other vacation spots. Too bad because I love Las Vegas, but enough's enough. Of course, they're betting that you are among the minority.
Yeah.
And now Ted will argue in the live chat that tourism has been down. I think it was last quarter he mentioned something about that. He actually had people talking about what he thought.
I think I just saw a stat, though. It's up 0.1%.
Last quarter?
Was.
Last month. So so he's arguing,
But that's probably because
Ted's argument is it's not happening, and your argument is, maybe coming back. It's unclear. Let's see, anything in the live chat I want to talk about? No, let's go ahead and do this thing here. Ready? And let's go. By the way, thanks everybody for your emails. You guys are the best. Come on! That's right. All right, it's time for Have a Drink on Me. It's part of the show where I show a picture of a bar or a lounge or a speakeasy or, I think I just gave something away. And you guys guess it, and then you win fabulous prizes. What kind of prizes? Would you like to be the show or the tell?
Oh, let's see. I'll do the show again. That was fun.
Yeah, you were pretty good last time.
We reversed
Stand
roles.
by. Let's do this. What did you just say?
It was fun to reverse roles.
I thought you said, we did this in rehearsal. We've never done this in rehearsal. Rehearsal never happens. Okay, here's what you can possibly win if you are a winner of Have a Drink on Me. Ready? Go. You know what? Your sartorial look is very important. The way you look, the way you present yourself is muy importante. And by the way, it's summertime and you want to keep the sun off of your noggin, off your eyeballs. So you can win fabulous Vegas Video Network visor. It comes in one color, black like my heart. We may have a red, but it's hard to say. By the way, if you wear it the way Wayne was wearing it right now, you are, I think the technical term's a douchebag. And if you wear it like that, you know what? You're in a rap band. And if you're a wigger. Okay, moving forward. But let's say that you're a musical guy or gal. I like that. You have an ear for that. You're thinking, I want something that's kind of acousticy, kind of jazzy, something that's get Jazzathon, a fantastic selection, Wayne. That's a kind of a Latin guitar jazzy thing with one of the greatest songs you've ever heard in your life. Wait a minute, I believe in Christmas. How about Christmas Acoustic 1? It's all about that. You will literally be using that CD for 10 years as you decorate your Christmas tree. Oh, wait a minute, you want more? Of course you do. Christmas Acoustic 2. That's the one you really want if you want to impress the family, impress the friends. But wait a minute, you're thirsty, you're parched. Well, guess what? You get to have yourself a drink on your buddy Scott. That's right, you come to Las Vegas, your buddy Scott will buy you a drink, preferably a Coors, just like you're seeing there, and only one. Let's not get crazy. And we're not going to be at the Delano because those drinks cost $400 simply to walk in the place. Thank you very much, Wayne. Well done, everybody. All righty. Now, how do you win? Well, there's a variety of ways. Did you want to do that one, Wayne? Sure you do. What are the number of ways that you can win Have a Drink on Me?
Well, certainly. Well, I have to say sometimes, well, they're Speed Racer. But you want to be Speed Racer because the first correct entry will get you another entry.
One.
You could do an intro video like we had Brian?
He's already in there.
We had Brian do earlier. That'll get you an entry.
Good.
You could do a video entry. That will get you an additional
We have
entry.
2 on today's episode.
What else? Gosh.
You could do a correct answer in general.
Well,
That gives you 1.
yeah, I was
And
just bonus entry.
If you're in the live chat, while we do this, bam, that's 5. 5 possible ways to get in there. Well done. Wait.
3 out of 5 is.
You might actually want to write those 5 down just so you can
60%.
knock that. Yeah, it is 60%.
That's
So if you're a
passing.
baseball player,
D stands for diploma.
you're all that. Okay, very good. Okay, we had 18 out of
I haven't been
19.
here in like a month and a half. Could I get some slack?
No, you're a professional. Oh, by the way, and if you want to play, you're going to send your email to haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. Again, haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. Now, I almost forgot something, but I didn't. I'm a professional. And that is this. If you do end up getting one of these bad boys here, oh, here you go. I didn't know you were going to actually do that. There it is. So you do that, and you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. And you take a picture, and you send that, oh, yeah, just like that. And you do it that, by the way, that's the way to do it. Do it in, well, not with the right, that's the wrong phone, but generally that's the right angle. We call it landscape. Take that picture, you send it to us, and then magic happens. Really? Magic? What kind of magic, Mr. Whitney? Well, you send it into us and you become a part of the galaxy of gods. There's Gregor and Bill and Mr. Testy and Steve and Michael and Robert and Rosie and Michael again and Scott and Pinky and Bub and wait, there's more. As Alan and Aaron and they are Nudist and Bob and his wife and Danny and Shan, not Jan, and Glenn and Jimmy 2Gs. And then there's Rob. And of course, we've got Ken and Stuart and Christina, who's all babies are because of my music, and Don and Jackie and Mike. Just kidding, he's moving to Las Vegas, so I don't mean that joke anymore. There's Brett's dad and your buddy Scott. And Wayne, he's very handsome. And of course, our good buddy Brett as well. All right.
One little disclaimer.
Yep.
Ska CDs were not actually totally due to Christina's babies. They might assist. However, the CDs will themselves not impregnate you.
Thank you. That's a nice disclaimer, and we need those kind of things. Okay, let's look at last week's Have a Drink on Me. And the clues were Hofbrauhaus, and Hofbrauhaus.
You can get spanked there.
And that was part of the clues, was spanking is imminent, but only if you ask for it, right? As I said, 18 out of 19 correct answers. Let's begin. Are you ready, my friend?
Oh, my goodness.
Here we go. Our very first correct entry, we have Jimmy 2G. Nope. Jimmy, kind of greedy. He won last time, and yet he decided to get in here. What are we trying to do? Have we not taught these people how to behave?
How many conductors
I don't
do we
understand.
have to shoot before the train shows up on time?
I don't understand this. You know, we've provided this guidance. We've tried to help these people go, listen, this is the way you play. If you win, step back. Let other people win. You don't see Pops who wins 5 times every week, and you don't see him getting in the next week. But fucking Jimmy too, geez. So Jimmy, there you go. How's that feel? Yeah? Yeah. If you were wearing epaulets, I'd rip the epaulets off. Stop being greedy, Jimmy. By the way, has Jimmy won before? Probably 5 times, 6 times. He's won a bunch. So he's not number one. Now who's number one? Mike Q. Mike Q gets 1 for the correct answer. Mike Q gets 1 for being in the live chat. And guess what? Mike Q gets 1 more because he sent this shit show of a video.
Greetings, everybody. Mike Q. On the Living Las Vegas podcast, coming at you live from outside of this week's Haddam location. It is.
Fantastic video of Hofbrauhaus. Thank you, Mike. So that was a triple.
A triple, so we're not passing on the first. There's no first entry this week.
Well, he gets the first entry.
So then that's a quad.
Well, he gets 1 for the correct answer, 1 for being in the live chat, 1 for a video.
And then are we doing first entry?
Oh, yeah.
Then that's a
Oh,
quad.
it's a quad. Oh, gee, he just got a quad. Mike Q, a quad. Well done, my brother. Oh, well done.
I thought maybe Jimmy might have ruined it for everybody.
Well, Jimmy, we're going to have to take him out and have a little chat with him. We'll have a Sopranos chat. Hey, Mike, maybe you should stop,
We'll let Derek Stevens talk to him.
Right. Ask him how it feels like to be 100 degrees out, and there's nobody sitting at the tables. Next up, we've got Aussie Deb. Aussie Deb writes, this show is super fun. And by the way, 1 for the correct answer, one for being in the live chat.
All right.
Boom.
Pick it up a little bit.
What? Oh, wait, shit. Mr. Testy, one for the correct answer and one for not being in the live chat. Sorry. Then we've got Don Turner, who's Mr. E. No. Then we've got, thanks for that, by the way, Sean Talbot, who says, really enjoyed watching the podcast. Thanks, Sean. Then we've got Mike from the Couve, which is Vancouver. Thanks, Mike. Then we've got Barney, who says, quote, great show. Thank you, Mike. And then we've got Don Vadal, who says, can you do the show a little earlier because it's late on the East Coast? Pretty please with sugar on top? No! Good Lord, you're an adult. You're not. I got all kinds of. I got people in Australia who are watching. You don't hear them going, "Hey, can you do your show at 2 a.m. so we can actually what?" Come on, Don.
He knows it's on demand, right?
Come on, come on. She wants to be in the live chat, but holy cow, come on, Don. Moving forward. Shannon says, "Oh, we're in." And then we've got Mike Beatty. Very good. Then we've got Andy in New Hampshire. Very good. And we've got Bob Thomas from St. Augustine, Florida. And then we've got Dave from Manchester, UK. Can you shout out to Paula? Paula! I think I met Paula. Lovely gal.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to go, Paula. Or Dave from Manchester. Moving forward. Paul, also known as Condor954. One for the correct answer. One for being in the live chat.
Really?
Yep. Okay. Next up, we've got Richard, also known as Rafai's Jitter. One for the correct answer. Did you get Condor?
I'm getting there. Go ahead.
And one for the live chat. And then Mike Lizowski, also known as the Mad Chipmunk. One for the correct answer. One for being in the live chat. We've got Bill, who's got War and Peace. Bill, we don't have time for that. Wait. Well, this is my Condor. What the hell is this? Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Stand by. Oh, it was a good email, but we haven't got time. Sorry, Bill. But he's in the live chat. One for the correct answer. Did you get Bill 98036?
No,
He gets another one in there. Way to go, Bill. Sorry about that. And then finally, we got Pops. Pops, one for the correct answer. Pops, one for being in the live chat. Pops, one for this video opus.
All right, pay attention, kids. Only got a minute. I got to do this fast. If you've been paying attention, you would have noticed that Scott left the logo of the bar in the Haddam picture for this week.
Yes, I did.
He does that sometimes. He'll leave the name, part of the sign, part of the logo. You got to pay attention. If you've also been paying attention ever since the first of the year, I've been telling everybody that I'm going to sooner or later win my 7th Haddam. And when I do, if you have a video that gets played on that show, I'm going to claim to win, but I'm going to give you the prize. So far, our buddy, longtime Sergeant at Arms, Mike Q, has had a shot at me.
And
our buddy
again,
Eric, also known as Ace of Bats in the live chats, has had a shot. Unfortunately, none of us won on either one of those shows. But step up, take a shot, send in some videos. It's as easy as taking a selfie. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's right.
And I was going to say one more thing. Oh, yeah. 2 more things. I didn't get a haircut, but I did buy some rubber bands. And as always, I think you should eat these nuts!
Thank you there, Pops. Okay, let's pick it out.
All right.
Oh, you're going.
Selected.
Attaboy.
I've selected.
You're not screwing around, are you?
We got time schedules
shit to
here.
do. Let's go.
You can't afford my overtime.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
This is a name I do not recognize before.
Oh, neat.
So it is going to be somebody who really enjoys watching the podcasts.
Sean Talbot. Way to go, Sean. That's fantastic. That's a newbie. Mm-hmm. Way to go, Sean. All right. You could either win those things that we said. Okay, here we go.
Do we have a new one this week, Scott?
We do indeed. And today's Have a Drink on Me looks a little bit like this. Boing, 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 bum, 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 bum. Do you know it by looking at it?
I do.
Look at you. All right,
I haven't been there yet.
Either have I.
I've been there, but not there.
Me too. Number 1 clue. It may have been named after the mass transit in London. Could have been named after the mass transit in London. Hit number 2. Includes a working distillery. Mm-hmm. It includes a working distillery. And hint number 3. It would appear that this type of establishment may have been subterranean. It appears this type of establishment may have been subterranean. Mediterranean? If you know the answer to that
Fairly
question.
new as well.
Huh?
Fairly new as well.
Very, very new. So new that your two buddies here have not been there. If you know the answer, you're going to send it to Have a Drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. Again, Have a Drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. All right, that's it.
Look at that.
Thanks, everybody.
We got to the exit music right on time.
We got what?
To the exit music right on time.
How about that? Hey, if you guys want to send us an email, and we'll dedicate a whole show to you, honorq at livinginlv.com. Again, honorq at livinginlv.com. Send us a voicemail. You can do that on our homepage. And we're all over the place. You can check us on social media. We're on iTunes. And if we're on iTunes and you're watching us or listening to us, give us a 5-star review. We're on YouTube. Share us. Give us a thumbs up. Roku, 79,000 plus account installs. Stitcher, TuneIn, Chromecast, Apple, Google, Fire TV. And, of course, Google Play. And, of course, the Vegas Video Network. I'm Scott. That's Wayne. Thank you so much for playing along. You guys are the bestest ever. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
2
On that's very good. Living in Las Vegas. Take care, everybody.